No one, not even the auditors, KPMG in 2012, Deloitte Malaysia in 2013 and 2014, were able to verify firsthand that the monies were actually in Cayman Islands. The investment was classified as a level 3 asset where the valuation was derived from the valuation techniques that include inputs for the asset or liability that are not based on observable market data, or in brackets, unobservable inputs. Hence, once again, the restructuring of the Murabaha notes into Cayman Islands investment raises the question if this was a last-minute transaction to cover up the original cover-up to avoid further scrutiny in the financial report for March 2012. Arul Kanda proudly announced that 1MDB made 488 million profit from the Petro-Saudi transaction. But what we have at hand is at least 1.1 billion US dollars, at least, missing in unknown whereabouts. The next question to ask is hence, where exactly is this 488 million US dollars of paper profit Arul was talking about? If the 1 billion US dollar investment, which was suddenly converted to a loan on the very last day of March 2010 of the financial year, was in actual fact a cover-up of the JV scam. Is it a cover-up? By converting it into a loan to Petro-Saudi, 1MDB was then able to avoid reporting the details of the JV agreement in the 2010 financial report. So we don't know about the JV agreement until it was exposed by Sarawak report. How else could one reasonably explain why, if 1MDB decided that the JV with Petro-Saudi did not work out, 1MDB didn't just withdraw its 1.2 billion investment, US dollar investment in full. Instead, the funds which were raised via a debt guaranteed by the Malaysian federal government was inexplicably extended as a loan to the Petro-Saudi subsidiary. If 1MDB did not believe in the business model anymore, then why did it still lend money to the venture? In fact, 1MDB twice further extended loans via Murabaha notes to the Petro-Saudi subsidiary. 500 million later in 2010 and another 200 million US dollars in 2011. Hence, the total loan extended under the opaque scheme was US $1.9 billion. It should be highlighted here, a side point, that 1MDB was never set up with any objective or any objective remotely close to become a money lending company. Why did it lend the money when it is not supposed to, it's not set up to lend money? It's not set up to borrow money and use that borrow money to lend someone else money. That's worse. But again, that's the question that 1MDB needs to answer. Then in September 2012, before its March 2012 accounts was signed out, the Murabaha notes were sold to an undisclosed party for 2.318 billion, sorry, it's billion, not million, billion US dollars, giving 1MDB a profit of 418 million US dollars. The whole dubious episode would have ended there if the proceeds of the sale were returned to the company. Unfortunately, the ministry deepened when the proceeds were controversially invested in a segregated portfolio company in Cayman Islands, which was managed by licensed investment manager and regulated by relevant monetary authorities. Basically couched in very ambiguous language that's supposed to lend credibility to the investment. Finally, the controversial funds in the Cayman investments were fully redeemed after much public criticism on the 13th of January 2015. However, since then, Arul Kanda has refused to disclose the whereabouts of the 1.1 billion balance proceeds from the redemption, only announcing that the funds will not be repatriated into Malaysia. The action not to repatriate was mind-boggling because 1MDB was frantically seeking funds to repay a 2 billion ringgit loan which was outstanding since November 2014. The 1MDB CEO also refused to confirm or deny the widely reported speculation that the 2 billion ringgit loan was finally repaid on 13th of February 2015, only with a last-minute desperate loan deal with the local billionaire Tan Sri Anandakrishnan. The whole complex and mind-boggling financial maneuvers all points towards the perpetration and massive cover-up of a multi-billion ringgit fraud.